Blasphemous. This game has a parry, so it makes it into parry review. So let's start with what this game gets right. You start off the game with the parry. The game starts, and immediately you have the parry. People like to compare this game with The Last Faith. Well, in The Last Faith, you have to kill the first boss, and then you get the parry. Here, you have it immediately. And just for that, this game, for me, is automatically better than The Last Faith. Second, the parry in this game feels much stronger, more responsive, and just chunkier than in The Last Faith. I already like this game a whole lot more than The Last Faith, but a lot of people say that both games are really similar, and they're not wrong. They're both like Metroidvanias, 2D platforming action games, but I just like Blasphemous more. Like a lot more. A whole lot more. So let's dive deeper into the parry mechanics. There are some enemies that you cannot counterattack. In this game, the block button is the parry button. You cannot block. You just momentarily deflect, and that's the parry. So you press the parry button, and if an attack connects with your parry, you automatically counterattack. You don't have to press any other button. You just press the parry button and time it correctly along with your enemy attack, and you will automatically counterattack. No, you just press a single button and that's it. Now, the heavier enemies, like bigger enemies or enemies that wield large weapons like hammers or pillars or just heavy weapons, you can only parry. The counterattack, which is the latter part of the parry, which normally happens automatically, as you can see here, it doesn't happen at all. I'm just parrying him because he's like a heavy enemy, right? There is no counterattack, there's only parry. Now, if you do happen to parry an enemy that you can counterattack, you can do what is known as a righteous parry, which I just performed right there. What you do is you press the attack button just when you swing your sword. So you parry, and the moment that he does the counterattack, right then and there, you press the attack button and you will do the righteous parry, which you can identify by the red flash that appears from above. When you do the righteous parry, you will be able to tell that the enemy is staggered because he will be flashing red. What you do then is you get close to him and you press the interact button, and you will do an execution in which you have iframes during the whole execution, as you just saw right now, and you get more currency when you perform an execution. When you kill an enemy using an execution, you get more money, more in-game currency. From what I've been able to tell, the bosses, you can only parry them, you cannot counterattack them, but, you know, that's fair enough. So, the parry metric. Let's give this game a 7 or a 7.5 out of 10 on the parry metric. And on the fun and enjoyment scale, I'm gonna give Blasphemous a 7.5 out of 10 on the fun and enjoyment scale. And the reason why I'm not giving it a 10 is because even though I enjoy the combat in this game and I like it a lot, as you can see here when I'm fighting certain enemies, you can't deflect projectiles. You can't even parry them. Or at least the projectiles that I showed in this video, you can't even parry them. So you have to dodge them. And that takes a little bit of the fun away from the game because the game kind of forces you to dodge and doesn't give you an active and offensive way to bypass projectiles. You have to take a defensive stance toward it and just dodge. So just for that, we're deducting half a point, but 7.5 on both the parry metric and the fun and enjoyment scale is still a great score for any game here on Parry Reviews. But yeah, that's my only con for this game. Like, the projectile enemies kind of like messing with you a little bit too much, and they distract you from the melee enemies, and then the melee enemies can hit you because you're distracted. Either way, I still very much enjoyed this game, and I look forward to reviewing Blasphemous 2. So thanks for watching, take care, and enjoy.